First off, I'd like to start out in a moment of prayer. We're going to have Zoe Warren, who is running with Trucker Bob Musselwhite for governor and lieutenant governor of our state. Zoe, if you'd take it away.
Greetings, South Carolinians. You know, it's a shame that we're at this point in the world where we don't have school choice in South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of a shame because our founders said that our Constitution is only able to actually govern a moral and religious people. And so if we don't teach our children to be those things, we won't have a country very long. And so I just want to pray. I just wanted to kind of help you to turn your hearts in the same direction with me. We're going to pray. So Father, thank you so much that you said in your word in Proverbs 22:6 that if you train up a child in the way he should go, when he's old, he will not depart from it. Thank you, Father, for giving us an understanding of what it takes to grow a holy, a strong, and a persevering nation that can overcome all kinds of obstacles like we've done in America. I pray, Father, that you give us wisdom and you give us grace today. Every speaker, that they would speak things that are necessary, that they would speak things that are good and right and just, and that we would leave from here and go to our various places with more tools and ammunition in order to get your will done on the earth. Father, keep us safe today. Bless everyone that came here. Bless every effort for school choice, God, in South Carolina. And we ask you these things in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Thank you, Zoe. So our first speaker is going to be Representative R.J. May, and Representative May serves District 88 of Lexington County in the State House of Representatives. He is a small business owner, husband, and father. He has always been a supporter of pro-life, the Constitution, School Choice Week, and he is an unwavering advocate for parental rights in education. So if you want to learn more about RJ May, I encourage you to visit his website or follow him on Facebook at voterjmay.com. But without further hesitation, Representative May, if you would like to come and talk about what you're doing for the good fight.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone. As a father to a 3.5-year-old Bobby here with one on the way, my only desire in life is to create a more healthy, prosperous, and free America for my children. I know that's why many of you are here today, because you want to give your child more opportunities and a better life than you had. And I know nothing is going to stand in your way. Not the possibility of rain or snow, nor near freezing temperatures, not a little bit of wind, and dang sure no politician or unelected government bureaucrat is going to stand in your way. You see, the silver lining to nearly 3 years of draconian government lockdowns was a peek behind the curtain in our government-run schools. Most of us knew here why we needed school choice, but as many Americans listened on Zoom and got more involved in their children's education, they started to question how and what their children were being taught. My friends, the far left has awakened a sleeping giant, and that's why 2022 will be the year of the parent. This is the year that moms and dads take back their children's future. I'm honored to fight for that cause in the building behind me, and if I can take a point of personal privilege here and point out a few people who are in that fight with me, and one that will hopefully be here soon. Right over here we have Representative Vic Dabney from Camden, Kershaw County, District 52. And in the crowd tonight, we have Candace Jennings, who's running for House District 97 in Dorchester and Colleton County. Both of them are advocates in the fight for liberty, advocates in the fight for school freedom, and I hope you will join me in helping re-elect Vic and elect Candace. Yes. Hold on. We love kids, don't we? Now, there are a few bills in the House right now that can go a long way in shifting the balance of power from government to parents, including the Parental Bill of Rights, which I am the primary sponsor of. That legislation codifies into law what we already know, that parents have a God-given right, free from government interference, to direct the upbringing, education, and care of their children. I need a lot of help. Vic and I need a lot of help to get this done. If we're going to pass the Parental Bill of Rights, if we're going to ban critical race theory, if we're going to fund students instead of systems, then I need you to call your state representative and your state senator and tell them what you want. Because remember, they work for you. You don't work for them, they work for you. I need you to show up in force during committee meetings. I need you to testify when the bills are being heard to say what school choice legislation would be to you and mean to you and your family. And if they don't do what's right, then I need you to vote them out of office. But even if we do all of that, we've still got a little problem about 500 miles away in Washington, D.C., where a lot of people think that government knows what's best. But our next speaker knows that parents knows what's best. That parents know the wants, needs, and abilities of their child, and that parents should be free to send their child to a learning environment of their choosing. So ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce to you a fighter for our rights in Washington, a proud limited government conservative, my friend and my Congressman, Joe Wilson.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, RJ. And ladies and gentlemen, what an honor to be here with you today and to see your persistence in the middle of a northeaster, and the temperature here has to be just a bit above freezing. And so to see so many warm people here and so many wonderful people, to me, is just exciting. It's also exciting to me because having served in the state senate initially, I've seen that we can bring change. And I know that there are people here who help bring change. And I think back being on the education committee, working with Zan Tyler, when she first came and spoke about how important it was to have the choice of homeschooling, the establishment was not pleased. It was worse than that. It was we had another political party in charge at the time, and so it was just so hostile, so hateful. It was just an extremely bizarre time, except for one thing. The issue has prevailed. Now that we have the opportunity of homeschooling, the choice of homeschooling, and so I want to point that out as a way of success. Another thing that I'm reminded of as I see Moms for Liberty, I have been here over the years for another organization called ABATE, and that's persons who are active promoting the ability to ride motorcycles of all things. And so it's a brotherhood against totalitarian enactments. When I found out the name of the group, I don't ride motorcycles, but I wrote a check for $10. And so I joined right away. But over and over again, we can have groups come here and make a difference. And with school choice, what an opportunity we have. In Washington, if we have a change in political party this year, which I think is going to occur, the new chairman of the Education Committee is going to be Dr. Virginia Fox. She is from Grandfather Mountain, North Carolina. She is the former president of a community college, and she is feisty. She will work hard, and she will fight for the rights of parents to have the opportunity to choose what's best school for them. And then I want to send greetings from my wife, who's a teacher. She wants to thank you for what you're doing. I also want to give greetings from my number one son, Alan, your Attorney General. I'm glad to see Matt Gates here a few minutes. Look at Matt. I've never seen him look so good. Anyway, and so the Attorney General's office is here. And so we have somebody who will be fighting again for parents. And I know personally, in our family, my wife, a teacher, that we found with our 4 sons that public schools were terrific. I have run into a number of Eagles from Airport High School. I know what a good school it is. And so public school is for many people. And then the success of our family has been so positive with public schools, but we also needed a very significant private school opportunity, which we took. And then I'm really grateful with my grandchildren that they have been in public school, they've been in private school, they've been in classical school, they've been in Christian school, they've done homeschooling. Hey, it's what is best for the child. And hey, can you imagine, we have to even say this, that the parents know what's best for the child. And so it's been exciting to me to see the opportunities that we have. And so in Washington, I look forward to continue to be there for, as RJ was so perceptive, and that is limited government, expanded freedom. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman Wilson. Thank you so much for coming. Our next speaker is Vic Dabney. He is the representative for Kershaw County, and we are so thankful to have him here today as well. Vic?
Okay, I'm not gonna talk about school choice. I'm for it. A lot of y'all know me. And I'm not gonna try to outdo RJ or Congressman Wilson, so I agree with everything they said. So I'm not gonna go back and repeat that. So the reason why I came today was to thank y'all for what you're doing. We couldn't do what we do in here if it weren't for y'all. And also I want to recognize my wife. She's down front out here. She was willing to come over here today. I know it's a cold day. Don't be discouraged by the small crowd. That was the message I wanted to bring today. I knew it was going to be small. It's cold out here. This is tough. But what you do is even tougher. Activism matters. Getting involved, doing what y'all do matters. Every single one of y'all. So when you leave here today, I want you to know that it mattered that you were here. Okay, and I came here to support y'all. That's what I'm here for. But the only other message I want to bring to you, and it is along the lines with school choice and just freedom in general in our schools. 45 years ago, whenever I graduated from high school, it's been a long time, our graduating seniors in America, graduating seniors from high school, led the world in math and science. We were the world leader in education. Our kids were the best educated. Since then, we've dumped a whole bunch of money on the heads of a bunch of bureaucrats, and now we're not even in the top 10 or the top 20. I think we're somewhere near like 28 in the world. It depends on where you look to get that data. Okay, so dumping money on the problem is not the answer. We spend more money in America than any other country. Okay, we've got to stop the insanity and do something different like school choice and give parents back some freedom. Okay, it's our schools, it's not their schools. Okay, so thank you for coming and what you do. It does matter, and I greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Vic. I'm warmer. I don't know about you guys. He got me fired up. Thank you, Vic, for coming. He has been amazing and such a great supporter, especially for our Moms for Liberty chapters. And I just really appreciate you braving the cold with us today. But we do have some candidates here also for the South Carolina Superintendent of Education. And I first want to introduce Ellen Weaver. She has been a longtime supporter of School Choice Week, so much so that she, with Senator DeMint, launched the Palmetto Promise Institute in 2013. Palmetto Promise has partnered with MySC Education to help promote excellent education for every child in South Carolina, and I'm very grateful to have had the opportunity to get to know Ellen recently. So please help me in welcoming Ellen Weaver, the candidate for South Carolina Superintendent of Education.
Y'all, it is cold out here, but my heart is warm because we are here today to talk about the future of South Carolina. We are here today to talk about what it is going to take for the hearts and minds of the children that God created to be educated to their fullest potential. That is why I am here to be with you today. That is why I have stood tirelessly for school choice during my entire professional career. I know that a great education is the front door of the American dream. I have lived that power in my own life. You see, I am a product of school choice. I didn't grow up in a wealthy family, but my parents sacrificed to get me, my brother, and my sister the education that we needed. I went to a small Christian school. I was homeschooled. I graduated from public school, so I have done it all in my life. And I'm here to tell you that I know that I needed those different options at every stage in my education journey. One size doesn't fit all for children, and I'm also here to tell you that one size does not fit all for teachers. We have seen that demonstrated in our public education system. And as your superintendent of education, I will stand up and fight for the rights of parents as I have done for the last 20 years of my career. I will fight for the right of every child in South Carolina to have an excellent education education wherever they learn and wherever their parent knows is best to send them. And I will fight to remove bureaucratic restrictions and red tape from the hands of our teachers that keeps them from teaching and that keeps money out of the South Carolina classrooms. Representative Dabney is absolutely right. We are not underfunding education in South Carolina. We are misfunding education in South Carolina. And it is going to take your voice, the voice of the we the people, the voice of everyone here in this audience today to say enough is enough. It is time to take our education system back and to stand up for students, for parents, and for teachers. And that's why I am running to be your superintendent of education, and that is why I'm so thankful for you and for the ability to be here with you today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Weaver. That was very good. Thank you so much. And we are so blessed today because we didn't just have one candidate for South Carolina Superintendent of Education, we have two. And our second one is Ms. Lynda Leventis-Wells. She has a background in being an educator as well. She worked over in Saudi Arabia, working with the Air Force, doing schooling over there. And she's also been locally serving on the school board and in Greenville County and has been the chairman for the past 3 years for that as well. 2 years, excuse me, I'm sorry. But if you could also welcome Ms. Lynda Leventis-Wells. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Courtney. Thank you for having me today. And in fact, thank you for having all of us today. Let me just explain something to you. I'm about all children. I believe in homeschooling. I believe in private, public. I believe in what's best for your child. You know your child better than anyone knows what's best and what's going to make a difference in their educational life. You make that decision. Some of the best teachers my children had in public school graduated from Bob Jones University. I just want you to know that students come first, parents come first, and teachers come first. But you have to be involved. Parents have to be involved in their children's education. They have to know what's being taught in the classrooms. They have to be involved in homework assignments, projects, etc. We are going to make sure that kids come first. Let parents decide what's best for their children and let teachers teach. And that's what's extremely important. And what we know what teachers are teaching. I have children who have graduated from the public schools. My mother graduated from public schools, so did my father in Greenville. My brothers graduated from public school in Charleston. My mother was president of all of our PTAs, whether we were at James Simmons Elementary School in Charleston, Rivers High School in Charleston, Wade Hampton High School in Greenville, whatever it was, she was involved. I did teach in Saudi Arabia. I have a law enforcement background. I taught at the Police Academy, which is the South Carolina Criminal Justice Academy. I know about the safety of our children and how important that is in providing a safe learning environment. I've taught school, I've coached. I coached at J.O. Mann High School, girls varsity soccer and basketball. I assisted at Furman University with women's basketball, and as Courtney stated, I taught school at the International School in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. I love education and I love law enforcement, and everybody knows I care about all students. I don't care what level you are, who you are, where you come from, anything. It is about you, and I will fight for every student in this state to not have an adequate education, but to have the best education that we provide. So I thank you today. It's not cold to me here. I'm just getting fired up. So thank you so much. And Moms for Liberty, thank you so much. Homeschool, you go. I love you all, and I thank you for being here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wells. And so how many, I know we have a bunch of different districts here. Who here is from Lexington District 1? Over in the back, we have some Lexington District 1. Okay. Do we have anybody from Richland 2? Richland 2 is over there. Well, you are very fortunate because we have 2 local school board candidates coming. Our first one will go with Lexington because, again, I'm a little biased. I'm Lexington County Moms for Liberty. So Aaron Granade is running for one of the seats. We have 3 seats available this year. And if you could just give him a good warm round of applause so he can just thaw out a little bit. Come on up, Aaron.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Y'all are looking good today. Good afternoon. I'd like to thank all of the congressmen, representatives, and everyone else that helped me pick up my tent twice when it fell over. Yeah, it didn't work. It didn't work. There's a story in the Bible with Elisha the prophet, and his servant was looking out, and the battle looked grim, and it wasn't going to go well for them if they went into battle. And Elisha prayed, and he said, "Lord, open his eyes." He said, open his eyes so he can see what's really going on. And when God opened the man's spiritual eyes, he saw angels encamped all the way around from an elevated position, which meant the battle was won already before it even started. And it meant that there's a lot more for us than are against us. And in a few weeks, I know there's going to be a lot of people here that would be against us. But I'm here to tell you there's a lot more for us than there are against us. As a parent of a 10-year-old, I am especially sensitive. He's wallowing in the grass over there right now. There he is. He's waving. I am especially sensitive to what's going on. You know, in 1802, Thomas Jefferson wrote a letter to the Danbury Baptists, and he coined the phrase, the wall of separation between church and state. But his point was that religion could always impact government, but not the other way around. That our freedoms were not for the government to decide. It was already dictated to us by God. Okay? Now, my son came to me a few months ago and he said, "Dad, I was kicking the ball in the backyard and I kicked the ball over the fence." Well, that sweet neighbor returned the ball. It was very nice. It was good. The next day he came to me, or a little while later, it may have been before, it doesn't matter. He said, "Dad, I was playing with the baseball and I threw it over the other fence." And I knew what the other fence meant. The other fence meant where there was a mean dog and he wasn't getting that ball back. Too often we are throwing our ball over the wrong fence, and it's our freedom, and we're not going to get it back. The more we throw our freedom and give it away, the more it chips away at the freedom that we have available. We cannot get that back. Our freedom is like that ball. If we give it away, the government's going to chew it up, spit it out, and never release us back. Freedom is at the very foundation of our existence as parents. Freedom is at our very foundation of our existence in this country. Our freedom is the foundation of our children's existence. Our babies are only able to thrive so long as the parents are able to choose what is best for them. If you take away the teachers and you take away the school district and you take away the state departments and you take away the U.S. Department of Education, you do all this, you take all of those elements away, what's left is these parents. We're going to be what's left. We are the foundation of it, and our freedom is the foundation of it. It is inconceivable that we are told by many that we don't have a say-so in where our tax dollars go when it comes to our children's education. We need to be calling our legislators and supporting bills like the PACE bill that support funding our children, even if it's through alternate means. But why do we not get a say? Why do we not get a say in where our tax dollars go when it comes to our children's education? Why do they still get the money to fund everybody else's children? It's my money too. There are several bills that have been discussed. Let's get them passed into law. Last thing, our freedom is far from free. It costs us dearly, and it must be constantly protected from those that desire to throw aside liberty and impose tyrannical restrictions on our choices. We are in a race, and we must train to win it. We must run with all our might. We are in a war, and we must train and use every legal and moral weapon our freedom provides to defend it. As a board member in Lexington 1, when the time comes, because I believe I will be on that board, I will fight for every parent in my district, not just those who have children that attend our schools, but every parent. Because if you're not aware of this, even to homeschool, you have to get approval from the school district. So I will fight to make sure that the freedoms are protected, that the liberties are protected, and that our parents' voice is protected. I will fight for that to the end. I will not let up on that. Thank you very much. If you want to come see me, I do have business cards and postcards. I have coloring sheets for kiddos if you want to take some of those. They have my picture on them. Yeah, it might be kind of weird. I just did it for fun. But it says vote for Aaron. But even if you're not in my district, your word of mouth is critical to me. So I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're so great. I love you, Aaron. Thank you, Aaron. Also, so we do have some Richland 2 parents right in the back. And even though I do have a soft spot for Lexington County, we just launched our Richland County Moms for Liberty chapter. Our chair is here also, and so we are very excited to have Mr. Joe Trapp here from Richland 2, who is running for school board as well.
Oh, thank you. I realize a lot of people are fired up here, but I am freezing. I'm not gonna lie about it. I hope all these gentlemen in suits at least have some long underwear on. But I attended a school board meeting this week that removed absolutely all doubt from my mind that this is the right thing for me to do at this time in my life, because our school board, I ended up right in the middle of this fiasco. I don't know how that happened. I sat there, kept my mouth shut. Well, I shouldn't say that. My mouth dropped open when I saw what was going on, but I didn't say a word. I just watched, and I just could not believe the way some people behave in our school district, especially some of the leadership in our school district. Our school board is just completely dysfunctional. It's like watching a Jerry Springer episode sometimes when you see them up there, and they just really can't get anything done. And I'm determined if the people will support me to bring some sanity back to our school board and bring some common sense back. We have an administration that really is not accountable to our board, and they run the board instead of the board controlling the administration, and that's just not the way it's supposed to work. And I really I hope that we can get that back the way it's supposed to be, and hold people accountable for their actions. Anyway, it's definitely going to be a long road here to try to get some people elected, and I hope I'm one of them, and I would appreciate your support. Thanks.
Woo-hoo! Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Trapp. So that is actually the conclusion of all of our speakers. They do have booths and tables set up, so I really do encourage you to go and visit with them, ask them their questions, because we've been so blessed to have all of these folks here in one place today. Even though it is so cold, I understand. If you need a scarf, we have them. National School Choice Week was very generous, but my husband did say, please do not bring those home. They've been in our kitchen for the last month. Please, no more scarves. So please bundle up, visit, and get to know your candidates and your elected officials. Thank you so much.